Hello. How are you guys? Well, by now you should know that I'm Amy Masters, the host of this workshop. And, we've been in this Keeping Profits in Your Pockets for 7 weeks. And I always know that in my workshop, there's a few of them that go every week with me. And when I'm live, they're part of every live. They schedule it, they do it, they make it happen. But I also know the reality is not everybody can join in every live. Not everybody can do that. But here's one thing that happens. Hi, Miss Amanda, is that you signed up for the class for a reason. And maybe you're doing it on your own and you're not being active in the group and, and stuff like that. And that's fine. You don't have to be. But some of you might not have ever even started. You've never even started the videos, none of that. So you signed up for it because you knew you wanted it. You signed up for because you wanted that education somewhere along the way, but then life happened. And for some reason, you're not continuing on. So I titled this, Are You a Worrier or a Warrior? And I taught a workshop just a few months ago called Inspire Your Desire. And it was very touching. In fact, I've realized that I in my gut, have to do that workshop again. And it was just going to be a one-time workshop, but I realize that some of the stuff in there I need to relive and remind myself all the time too, and continue to stay committed to what I want for my goals, my dreams, and when I commit myself to something, to follow it all the way through. So today, in week 7 of our workshop, is fueling your fire. It's saying you signed up for this workshop, you want to learn it, and maybe it was a little bit overwhelming and you went, oh my gosh, I didn't know that it was going to be this detailed. And if so, I'm still here for you. I'm willing to help. And that's what I'm here for. Okay. And if not, time happened and maybe you don't have the time to dedicate, you're going to have to schedule it, because how are you going to get further in your career if you're always just busy, and you're not taking the time to be productive and profitable? So today is not at all talking about our profits. It's all talking about our psyche, our mental part, and where we want to be and why we want to do this, and to kind of, as I call it, fuel your fire. So hello, Miss Amanda. Hello. Okay, so part of the Inspire Your Desire I really dug deep with them to ask them a lot of questions. And it was interesting that this one page kept coming up as discussion. And so this is one of the pages I'm going to share with you. And I have writing all over it, and I'll make a clear copy and share it with you. But it's called, What's Your Genius? Okay. And what I mean by genius is that we all have something that either our family members have said, oh, you're so good at that. It might be cooking. It might be one special dip. Like I have a dip that they call Master's Dip. And I use it on pasta. I use it on chicken. I use it with chips. And it's cream cheese, diced chilies, and jalapenos. That's it. Just those 3 things. It's the cheapest dip that I think's out there besides mixing ranch with sour cream, but it's something that has a little bit of a spice to it, a little bit of a sweet to it, and it tastes good on chicken. It tastes good on hot pasta, almost like an Alfredo in a way. And it's just this universal dip that it's been nicknamed Master's Dip. So I didn't realize that I had something so special until other people tell me that. At some point in time, we have to absorb what other people say, because you don't realize that what you have maybe is unique, even if it's just a dip. Or you're so good at doing this. I wish I had that. You're so patient. Not everybody has patience. And you need to absorb that and know that that's your genius. That's something that you have that not everybody around you has. I'm not comparing yourself to everybody in the entire world. I'm comparing yourself to your circle of people that are around you. What's your genius? What do you like to do? Is it cooking? Is it knitting and sewing? Is it that's not my genius. I have no interest in it, but I love to go to craft shows and buy the things that other people make because it's their genius. It's their specialty. And I like that. And I want to support them doing that. And so, in the nail industry, we have the same thing. What's your specialty? What's your genius? What do you want to make money doing? Where's your passion lie into that? And if you can't answer those questions, then you need to do a little soul searching and dig in and find out what it is you really want to do. Where do you want to be financially? Is this the right career path for you? Or do you need to go to the next level and do an education and stuff like that? Or are you an educator and you're like, man, it's wearing me out. I just want to be a bit tech behind the table and go back to the basics. Where do you want to be? That's okay. What's your genius? The next thing on there is what's your why? Why do you like to do it? You know, I like to cook, but here's the thing, I like to grocery shop. So for me, the grocery and shopping is part of it. I like to get on Pinterest and lose my mind into something besides nails and get inspiration of what to cook, create a list, go shopping for it, sometimes not even find the ingredients because I have to go to a specialty store for it, and try their recipe and see how it is, and then serve that to my family and my friends and find out if they like it too. And if they like it, man, do I perfect that. I will make it over and over and I will Amyize it and I will specialize into it until it's something that's mine. And so when people come over, they're like, oh, can you make that bacon master's dip pasta? Because guess what? The only thing I did is I took the same master's dip and I put it over like spaghetti noodles or like those tri-colored pastas, and I add in bacon bits. That's it. And it makes a great pasta. Yeah, there's no calories in it either. But guess what? It took somebody else's recipe, inspiration from somewhere else, for me to bring it back in and turn it into something of my own. And that's my why. I like doing that. It makes me feel good knowing that I can take inspiration from something else and kind of stir it up a little bit and make it my own. I do that in the nail world. I do that in my business. I like to be different. I like to be unique. And that's my why. So what's your why? Why are you in this industry? Why do you do nails? Do you like the people and you like the interaction of it? Do you like to pamper them and make them feel special? Do you like the conversation where you talk and get to know somebody one-to-one? Because if so, that's what you need to incorporate into those services and make sure that you're doing your why, okay? Do you see where this all ties in together? It's really living with purpose. It's living where you want to be. And it's living within your specialty. And then you'll be amazed how fast your business will grow when you're doing what you love, because it shows and you shine when you do it. The other thing that's on there is what's your hobby, okay? Sometimes our hobby is not our specialty. I love to paint. I love to repurpose furniture. I never make money at it. I never can resell it. And then I have it in my home and then I turn around and want to change it again. For some reason, I could always find a flaw in it and I want to change it up. So therefore, my hobby changes quite a bit, but it's always still into kind of crafting for me. And I need something that I can complete in a day, or I can complete in like 15, 20 minutes because it's about my attention span. So what I realize is that people that do quilting and that's their hobby, they work at that for months, and the patterns and cutting all the material and getting it backed and sewing it properly and unsewing it to make it right, and then binding it and sending it off to some big quilter person. I don't know the terminology. They don't get to see the end result for months. I'm not that person. So I realized that's never going to be a hobby for me. I've tried like crocheting, and I'm not going to joke. I got the material to do a scarf, okay? My time span made something about this big, like a mini washcloth. And of course it was that really soft, nice material, you know, for scarves. I set it down. I went to pick it up again a few hours later to continue. I lost the pattern. It didn't look the same. Ripped it out, kind of started all over. Got about that far again. My attention span was done. I felt like I needed to do something else. I realized that all I know how to make is mini washcloths. I'm never going to make a scarf, and I'm okay with that. But look at the time in a hobby we will spend when we really like doing something. We will spend hours doing it and redoing it and changing it and customizing it, and financially we'll invest into it, that when we go to sell it, it can never reimburse us for the time and the knowledge that we put into that, okay? So, is nails your hobby? Are you investing so much into this hobby that you're never going to get back out of it what you want? And if so, is that frustrating for you? Are you living within your why, and are you doing what you love? because a lot of times that's what this career is. We invest so much time in practicing, so much time with the clients, talking, doing this over and over and over. A hobby, we're willing to do that. If you are not treating your job like a hobby and you're not practicing and you're willing to do the same thing over and over and fall through the mistakes and learn from the mistakes, maybe even call in an expert to help you, then you're not doing it right. Okay, that's what it takes. We have to treat our job and give our job the same patience and the same financial budget to limit ourselves so that we can be profitable with this and so that we can continue to do this and love what we're doing. Yeah, Amanda says, my career is my hobby. I definitely need more hobbies that will quiet my brain. Yes, me too. I'm with that. And that's why I like to craft. I like to, I don't know, for some reason the sander's loud and I put in my headphones and I listen to music. And so I'm being productive. I can sand something to see instant results, and I can stain it or, chalk paint it or something, and I can transform it into something else. But I either have to sell it or give it away. And I never even get to sell it for what I bought it for or how much I put into it or the time, okay? But nails are the same way. Unless you know exactly what your costs are, you are always your entire career going to be that hobby where we're just existing, we're just making it happen, and we're not being profitable to stay in it for the long haul so that we can continue to buy the new glitter that might re-inspire us, or a new class that might, inspire our desire and stuff. And so that's one of the pages that I had in that Inspire Your Desire. And like I said, it kept coming up because so many people were like, oh my gosh, I will spend hours cooking and working on a quilt and specializing it, but I won't practice and do that in nails on learning a technique. And it's like, well, then you're not going to be able to be good at your specialty. So either you're spending too much time on the things that you're not going to specialize in. You're spending too much time in one area of it when you should be spending that time in another area that fuels your fire. Yeah, powerful. Powerful. So I'm going to go into another one. It's called fear versus fear. Let me bring this up here. I'll screenshot these and send them over to you. I didn't have them out here for you guys to see. So fear versus fear was the name of this one. I had to stop and think, because one of the things that holds us back the most is fear. We get anxiety on that. Especially when it's the first time we're going to work on a client and maybe they have product already on, or they went to another nail tech that was really good, or they went to a nail tech that was really bad, and we want to be the one to make it better. We want to be the one that ups their level of what they feel about the nail industry. We want to be the one that they choose to come back to again. And there's this inner fear, inner anxiety, inner, part of us that can hold us back, or it can excel us forward. Okay, so here's what I came up with what the definition of fear meant. Fear, F, is a feeling. Okay, it's an emotional feeling that we get. E is we can get embarrassed from it. Maybe we didn't deliver it all. Maybe we get a little tongue-tied and didn't come out how we wanted to. So you have feeling, you have embarrassment. The A for fear, anxiety. And then the R is your reaction to all of that. So fear for me was feeling, embarrassment, anxiety, and a reaction. But how do you overcome that? How do you overcome the feeling? How do you overcome the embarrassment? How do you come over the anxiety? And how do you come over the reaction? And I realized it's just doing it. It's just getting in there and doing the work, whether we like it or not. Get in there, learn it, do it. And then from there, we can make the choice of, you know what, I don't want to do that again, okay? Or, oh my gosh, I did it. And now look what I have. So the same thing, once you dive in and you do it, whether you liked it or not, here's what ends up happening with the second half of fear. So the same F, you get freedom. Your mind is no longer stuck that you didn't do it. You have freedom to say, I did that. I didn't like it, or I loved it, or I want to do it again. But what happens is you get this sense of freedom of knowing it's done, it's off your list, it's checked out of your heart, it's checked out of your mind, you're done, you have freedom. The E, you get excitement. okay? Even if it was something you did not like, you get excitement that I did it, I'm done with it, I will never have to do it again. Or you get excitement like, oh my gosh, I'm going to redo that, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I think there's an easier way of doing this. Or I'm going to call my friend and they're going to do it with me. And so this excitement comes from that because you have that newfound freedom. And then you realize that you have ability to do that. Before you thought, I can't do this, I might not be able to do this. The anxiety kicks in too much and I don't know if I'm able to do that. What happens is when you jump in and you just do it, you have ability. And you need to realize you were able to do that and you utilized your friends, your knowledge, you read it, whatever it is, you have ability to go to that next level. You have that choice. So you can either stay in the one part of fear or you can just do it and go to the other level of fear. It's freeing. And then the R, when you've gone to the other side, is relief because you're done. And then you want to do it again. Hopefully, if it's something good. So I want you to know that you are what's holding yourself back. So even in this workshop, for the ones that are like, oh my gosh, I saw week 1 of the overhead, I don't even know where to begin. And yet I did the videos and I think I explained them into detail, but sometimes that can be overwhelming. You don't have the time to stop and listen. So maybe you fast forward a little bit and then you miss something and the anxiety, that fear gets into you. You're like, I can't even complete this. Okay, so here's one thing. If you watch any video out of any of these, I want you to watch this one. And then I want you to go back to the welcome video and know that I got your back, that I'm here for you to get past that fear so you can turn that feeling, that embarrassment, that anxiety or reaction into freedom and into excitement and into ability and into relief. That you did it. You know your numbers. You know how to be profitable. You know how to remarket yourself. You know how to do your menus. And that confidence comes from fighting that fear and going over that obstacle and going to the next level. It's powerful when you do that. And so, and I know this is just a workshop. I can imagine the fear that we have in life of big decisions to make and stuff like that. Like if you don't complete this workshop, your career will stay the same way that it is. But I can tell you, if you complete this workshop, you're going to have a lot more knowledge into knowing where your career can be. And then what you can do to be profitable. And then with those profits, how much more you can do in your personal life. It's a full circle. So don't let fear hold you back. Don't let this workshop overwhelm you. I want you to take it by the reins, by the horns, as they say, and go with it and trust in me on this and that I am here for you. So we're in week 7, okay? 7 weeks, almost 2 months that we've been doing this workshop. So if you have not started, it's your time. Schedule time out in your book, even if it's in the evening, early in the morning. Listen to the videos just like it's a podcast while you're doing dishes, cooking, doing something else, okay? And get into it. Get your mind focused into this. You paid for this and you paid a lot of money for this workshop. Thank you for that, by the way. But I'm not one to let you just ride through and just take your money. I'm one of those that's going to push you through it and make you overcome your fear so that you can be where I am in this industry 27 years later and loving what I do. And it is my hobby and I love it. I can spend hours doing this and I don't get tired of it. But I keep a variety. You know, I love teaching business. I love teaching inspiration and motivation. I love teaching nail art. I love teaching the genre technique. And so I have a variety of things that I can focus on. So that way I'm not just stuck on one thing all the time that becomes monotonous. It's fun. It's enjoyable. So there's one more thing here I want to share with you. It is called Worry for the Right Reasons. And this is my Worrier. Are you a worrier or are you a warrior? And the hindsight to that is, you know, I have a lot of medical issues. And my dad always says, you're such a warrior. And I realized that I was a worrier. I was worried what was going to happen, which is natural. But my dad was always like, but wait a minute, you always overcame that and you were the warrior. You never let your illness define you. And despite what your illness is, you always say, it's not going to hold me back. I'm not done yet. And that's what I say every time I'm hospitalized, every time something goes wrong. I always say, I'm not done yet. Like, I can't go yet. I'm not done yet. And then I'm like, what do I want to do? I don't even know what I want to do, but I know I'm not done yet. I'm not done loving. I'm not done cooking. I'm not done with Master's Dip and all the creations I can make with that. And so therefore, I've come to realize that my dad made my eyes open up to the word warrior. And I've always thought it was just for boys. Boys are warriors. No, we women, we're warriors. And sometimes we have to pull together with that strength to pull out of each other. So just like what I did with fear, I came up with things for the word worry out of the spelling of that and the word warrior. And I hope this resonates with you as well, okay? So worry, the W, are you worthy? Are you worthy of somebody paying you for a service? That's a big question. Do we produce quality enough service, customer service, quality of service, end of service? Are we worthy of payment? And if you feel that you're either not in the right career and you're going to have to make some choices there, or you're not surrounded with the right people that believe in you enough to know that you have worth. And my guess is it's the latter, because you're in this industry, you went to the schooling, you got the education, you're paying for ongoing education, so you know that you have worth. Now you need to find the people that believe in you and they're willing to stick with you through learning a new technique or whatever it is to know that you have worth, because you do have worth. There's no doubt, right? Then, are you afraid of obstacles? The O in worry is obstacles. Obstacles can be really hard because sometimes we can look at those obstacles as, I'm never getting this down. And that's a mindset. We can. You just have to look at the obstacle and you have to learn how to break it down, just like this workshop. How am I going to know what my costs are? Well, every single week I gave you an obstacle and I gave it to you in steps to break it down so that you can make it easier to get over the obstacle, so that you can understand it for yourself, so that you can continue on. So every obstacle that you deal with in life, you just have to learn how to break it down and deal with one step at a time. The first R is, can you be repetitive? So remember I was talking about being a hobby. So when we do a hobby, we're doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Whether you're cooking or whether your hobby is cleaning, it's repetition, okay? The nail industry, what we do from prep to the pretty, I call it, is repetition. Can you be repetitive? Can you do the same thing over and over and over until you feel that you can perfect it? That's huge, right? Sometimes we're like, I could never be one of those person that works at a can line where all I'm doing is capping every can that goes by. But you know what? The people are doing that. They love their job. They love that's mindless. They're not maybe creative people, or maybe they are, and they'd like that it's something mindless. Like Amanda says, something to quiet your brain. Being repetitive and learning how to do that quiets your brain. You no longer have the fear in there that you can't do it because you've done it so many times over and over and over again that the repetitiveness of it allows you to perfect it, and it becomes worryless. It's pretty amazing. Do something that has resolve, meaning it has an end. For me, quilting never has an end. I will never be able to have a resolve with that. It's not for me. It makes me worry even more. And so therefore, like again, with me, it's cooking. Go for a walk. You have a beginning, you're being productive, you're being healthy, and you have an end. Do something that every day you have a beginning and an end to it. Some people, it's being healthy and it's working out. Some people, even grocery shopping to me has resolve. I have this list. I know that I need this because if not, my family might not have toilet paper. They might not have paper towels. They might not have toothpaste. And so it's my responsibility to do this, get it done, come home. I have resolve. I did that. And because of me, my family has, these luxuries that we need for day-to-day stuff. Do something that has resolve and reflect on that. Know that you did that. Whether it's mowing the yard, whatever it is, do something every single day that you start and you end. And I can tell you, don't make it dishes, don't make it laundry, okay? Those are never ending. As soon as you're done with the laundry, you take off your clothes to put on your jammies at night, you have laundry again. Then you never have that ending feeling of something that you did to completion. So do something that truly, truly has a beginning and an end, and it's done for the day, for the week. Okay? The why in worry is only you can inspire your desire. You can reach out for mentorship. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to other people and inspire that. But you know what? It took you reaching out to get it happening. It took you going to Pinterest to find that. It took you getting to a product company to get the ongoing education that you need. Only you can make yourself not worry, because you are taking the step to fight the obstacles. Okay? Now, let's go over Worrier, which once again, I can't thank my dad enough for always telling me that I'm a warrior, that I'm always picking myself up and renewing again. I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter, I'm a pusher, but I fight for the right reasons and I push for the right reasons and I get up every day because I have passion for life. Okay? So warrior, you are a warrior, right? And you know what? You are worthy. You are worthy. You just have to find what you want to be worthy about. Okay? Your voice, my voice, I have learned this last couple of years, that even though my health might be in one area, my voice is powerful. My worth is my voice right now. And that's where my strength is. So when I'm being able to be a warrior because I'm utilizing what I have as my strengths, that's powerful. That's worth. You have that too. Okay? The O for obstacles. They're an illusion in your path to success. It's an illusion. It looks big, it looks mountainous, it looks solid. And you realize that when you take the little steps along the way to break it down and overcome it and do the work, everything's going to take work to be successful. Then you realize, wow, I just climbed that big old mountain and now look where I am. Whoa, I did that. That's you. You overcame that obstacle. It's just an illusion. You just have to learn to break it down into steps to be able to overcome it. Repetition is the mastery of a skill. So if you are willing to do the time and the repetition over and over and over and over to learn something, you are mastering that skill, and that becomes your specialty, and that becomes something that you can make money at. It's something that you get passionate about. As Amanda, it quiets that brain a little bit, or it might inspire something even bigger and allow you to grow even more and more doors to open. So therefore, the power that comes from doing things repetition it's good. It's mastering that skill. The resolve, well, guess what? When you do something from beginning to end, even if you have to do the same thing over and over from beginning to end, it becomes lasting. You did it. It's done. You might do it again. It's going to be done. It has lasting matter. You made a difference. If you don't do it, it's always going to pile up. It's always going to be there. It's not going to change. But because you did something from beginning to end, you were able to make a change. That's lasting resolve. That's lasting matter. And that's because you did that. So that's part of being a warrior. It's no longer worrying, it's tackling, it's getting it done, it's doing it. Ha, I love it. Okay. And once again, only you are what matters. Only you can know if you want to be the worrier or if you want to rise above and be the warrior. Only you can do that. But you know what? You signed up for this class, so that meant that you were worrying about it and you wanted the mentorship and you want to be a warrior with it. And I know a lot of you have been very active in this workshop and you are definitely warriors, and you've inspired me even. And so I can't thank you enough for that. And so I just want to remind you that I want you to be the warrior, and it's going to be hard and it takes steps. And when it comes to the keeping profits in your pockets, it's time. Lots of time to put in there. Mark your containers and do all of that. Oh, that one's a new bottle. Started a new bottle. So remarking my containers. I'm going to make sure that I'm profitable and that I know what I'm talking about. I'm being a warrior. I'm not a worrier. I'm going to figure this out. Okay? Amanda says, What about when you have so much, but not sure where to put the drive or the passion? I know what you mean like that. Like if 80% of a full book, but I want more out of the career because it makes me happy. So here's what I do. So in the Inspire Your Desire workshop, I had everybody get a notebook. And how many times have you just made a list of everything you want to do, like your bucket list or your to-do list or whatever? But when we make that list, we make the list down on the page. Well, instead, I want you to put one topic on every page. And sometimes you maybe even skip a page, put one topic at the top of that page, one topic on the next page. Then I want you to go back through each one and almost define why you want to do it. What's your why? Why do I want to do this? What priority should it take? Then you're going to realize that some of those you're going to be skipping over, and you're going to start creating an outline of what steps it's going to take to get over the obstacle. What steps is it going to take for me to be able to do this? Okay. Then you're going to realize the ones that you have outlines, those become priority. Those are the ones where your passion is. The other ones you're still passionate about, but your mindset isn't there yet. That door isn't open yet for you to focus on that. And it's okay. It will come later, or it's going to tie into something else that you're doing. So I take a notebook. I write one topic at the top. I write why I want to do it. What's my goal? What's my deadline? Because I'm a time person. Am I going to be able to do that this year? Is that going to take 5 years for me to do? Or am I going to be able to do that this month? Because if so, I'm going to need to make sure I can schedule it. And I don't want to fail. So I'm going to schedule it in a month that I know I can do it. So I might not be able to start that for 3 months. But in November, my goal is to get that done. Okay, so be real with yourself on which ones to put as priorities. For me, we get snowed in a lot. So I have a lot more time to do things indoors in the winter than I do outside. So if there's something I want to do outside, that becomes priority right now because I only have a limited amount of time before the weather changes, and I can't do that and then be mad at myself that I didn't get that done. So those become priority of the ones that have a deadline because of something else creates a deadline for that. Okay. So what happens naturally when you put the topic at the top of the page and you start putting in the outline, and then my pages, if I had my notebook here, I'd show you, then there's a line like, no, I need to do this step first. And there's a line up to there. And then I'm erasing things and no, I got to do this first. And oh, wow, that created a whole new outline for that. And then I'm adding another line to another page and then creating another outline for that. It happens that it's your brain. That's how my brain is. It's a filing cabinet that's all scattered. It's not structured and in perfect file. And so therefore what happens is I'm getting it all out of my head. And then I'm being able to look at it. And sometimes I'll rewrite each thing on a page. And then I realize I have an entire curriculum of what I want to do. So I'm relaying this to a lot of workshops because that's where my mindset is right now. So then I'm like, oh my gosh, this one idea ended up being 4 workshops. Now what am I do? Which one should I do first? Well, let's see. This one ties into summer and weddings and stuff. And that's happening now. I better do that one now. The other one ties into shapes, instructions and stuff. That's always going to be something that's out there. So I'm going to do that when I have time to work on that. And I'm going to be indoors for that. The other one, I might need to be outside for that or show different things for that. So that one becomes priority. You're going to notice that the ones that you start filling your outline and continue to go to, that becomes that part that you work on. And it's hard. I really have stepped back and started marking off Amy time. And my husband has started, at first he was like, well, let's, you want to watch TV or do you want to go for a walk? And I'm like, no, this is that time that I marked off for myself. And he supports that. And it's interesting. He started doing it too. Yep. He has realized how important it is to focus and to make time to focus on where you want to be in life. Like I said before, I'm happy where my life is. I know if something happens to me that I'm okay with that. But while I'm still here, I'm going to make a difference with the time that I have. And I'm going to be a warrior. I'm not going to be the worrier. I do naturally worry, but I'm going to overcome that and I'm going to keep going. And so it's important for you to do that. This is one of those, and I'll just say it on here. I'm doing a genre workshop right now, and I I redid the videos. And I'm going to share this into that workshop, because there's a few of you that signed up for the workshop and I've never seen you post in there. And I think maybe you need to hear this. And so I'm going to share this video into my genre workshop because I think it's important for us. We have the passion. You go to school, you got educated, you're ready to go to the next level. You don't have your notebook out there. You don't know that you're a warrior yet. You still have the fear. You still have the worry. It's a new technique. It's overwhelming. Can it really be that easy? And it is. You just have to start doing it and then trust and rely into the mentorship that comes with it. So this is going to be a dual video. So Amanda, everything you shared with me is going to be in another group. Anyways, so there's my fuel your fire today, because I realize so many times in our career, we kind of go through a little bit of a roller coaster. And I just did a Tech Talk Live with Andrea Hefele, and she had talked about how anxiety is her fear and it holds her back. But once she gets over it, she gets on the plane and she makes it to the show, and then she finally makes it home. She's exhausted. She's so thankful she did it. She became a warrior. In fact, I should share this with her as well, because of her Tech Talk, it inspired me today to be able to share more of this with you. And so I'm here for a reason. You chose me for a reason, and I'm going to use my voice as much as I can to fuel your fire and get you out of the low part of your roller coaster and just shining. I want you to be successful, and I want you to follow the passion, and whatever it is that your hobby is that you can spend so much time in and doing it, I want you to treat your career the same way. Have the same patience, have the same repetition and practice, and look at the obstacles in a whole new way of knowing that you just need to be around the right people to learn how to break it down, understand it, and then move forward and not have that fear and that worry anymore. So with that being said, before I get too sappy on here, I just want to say thank you for trusting and believing in me. Thank you for listening and allowing me to express my voice in such a more powerful way than I ever knew that I could. Thank you for the responses that you guys give to me, that what I'm sharing is life-changing. And it might not be for all of you, and that's fine, but those of you that send that to me, you are life-changing to me as well. And I just want to say thank you for that. So I hope this helps fuel you. Go back to unit number 1, start all over, redo this, repetition, put in your time. It's going to be worth it in the long haul. And if you guys saw Amanda and I's interview that we did a couple weeks ago, you can see she knew her numbers. She had a baseline of what she knew how to do all of this. And she still learned so much. She dove in wholeheartedly. And sometimes it makes us vulnerable because we have to admit we're not good at it, or we have to admit I need help. I still am vulnerable about that. But I go to the resources, I go to the chemists, I go to the people that have that knowledge, and I gather all the information that I can from them so that I can process it and learn, and then no longer worry about it. I get it. Now I'm ready to tackle it and bring it on. And I'm not a competitive person, but I like a challenge. And so with that, I hope that you're able to take this information and be able to move forward too. So thank you very much for joining in, and I look forward to working with you with the weeks to come. Mwah! Have a great day.